Joe here from Xbox Games, and check it out. We got the MXVI-4000, otherwise known as the Khaos here from Nerf Rival. And this thing is massive, very similar to some of the other blasters that we've recently done. Now, before we even start, guys, if you haven't already, yes, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the giveaways we're doing, and make sure you get in on that because, you know, again, there's a lot of cool giveaways that we're doing that we want you guys to get in on. Now, when you first look at this thing, I mean, look how much screen and real estate this thing takes up. This is a massive blaster when it comes to clip size and just overall, just how big this thing is. It's a monster, and this has been out, I think, probably about a year and a half or so. And we have two of these, and we've put this thing through its paces. I mean, we shot, oh man, 4,000 rounds to this thing. And again, it does great. And with some of the newer Nerf Rival blasters that are coming onto the market that have the same capacity, but are smaller, lighter, have full auto, have a built-in battery pack, things like this here, the Percy's. We've been seeing a lot of these come up on things like OfferUp and eBay because I think that, you know, this is a good version 1, but I think the Percy's kind of takes this and brings it to the new level. It really does everything that this does, but on a smaller, more compact battery included, all that stuff built in. But we're going to go over this. That way, if you guys see this, maybe it could be something that you guys are looking for, or maybe you want to get on the secondary market. So again, aesthetically, again, it looks great. Really no frills and gimmicks. Down that right-hand side there, you got kind of that big Rival black kind of, it looks like kind of like a big scratch on there, which is awesome. Of course, you know, it has a nice stock, which I think looks awesome. Now, the grip itself, again, it's on the little bit, you know, for me, it's on the bit of a skinny side for the actual grip itself. I can almost wrap just my whole fingers all the way around it. And I've just been seeing a weird influx on grips. Some are huge, some are tiny, some are tapered. So this one fits my hand nicely and would even fit a smaller hand even nicely if you guys did it. Now, also, one of the things to note is you only have the safety on one side here, which on a lot of the newer ones, I can see the safety is actually on both sides. So it's on the actual left-hand side of the blaster. So for me, since I am right-handed, yes, you can go ahead and, yeah, just flip that with your thumb. I guess for other people who might be left-handed, it might be a little bit weird because you got to do it with your pointer finger or one of your other fingers comparison to your actual thumb. Thought that was kind of weird. Now, as far as the clip magazine goes, right, that's one of the things you're looking on here. That thing is massive. Look at that thing. Like, it's a big clip, and it's going to hold about 40-ish rounds. You could really jam some in there to get more in there, but 40 comfortably. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice about this clip is kind of how it loads. And for me, flipping it over and then pulling those little tabs all the way down so you're kind of not fighting it the whole time works great. And then once you pull those down, you kind of hit that little tab on the front of the clip, and it flips open the actual door. And now you can just kind of just load balls in there real easy. They kind of drop down in there, and then you just close that door right back up. But one of the things that I've seen is kind of as your clip, I don't know, it gets older, you use it a lot, that top piece up there likes to fling open, and if these little catches down here for the springs are not, you know, are already loosened, they do that, and the balls just go flying. I tell you, there is nothing more frustrating than that happening to someone where you're like, hey, I just loaded 40 balls, and now they just shot out, you know, 30 of them just went flying. So that's one of the things that I think when it came to this blaster where I was like, okay, because putting the clip back into the actual blaster was kind of frustrating because it kind of goes in at this angle. Do you see that angle that it goes in there? So you got to get that angle right, and sometimes you're going to hit that little piece, and balls are just going to go flying everywhere. So that, for me, was one of the things where I'm like, okay, you know, can I make sure that this blaster doesn't, or, you know, if I'm having an extra clip, I got to make sure this doesn't hit anything and fly out. And then, of course, making sure that when I put this clip in, it goes in at that angle and not just kind of vertical. So sometimes you got to play with it. And 4 or 5 times, balls have gone flying everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, why can't it just top load like, you know, like another Nerf weapon? But to release the mag, you just push that button there on the right-hand side. It drops out and comes right out. And again, you can see putting it back in there, it kind of goes in at that 90-degree, maybe 35-degree angle there. Pull it back out, slide it back in. So that's really the only drawback, I think, when it comes to this blaster on kind of how that loading mechanism works. It's just kind of tough, but still, you get 40 rounds, you can't really complain. Now, this is powered by, of course, batteries itself, and you can slide that top piece back there to reveal the battery tray. Now, if you don't want to use D-size batteries, you can definitely use the C-size tray if you have one for another one of your Nerf rivals. You will still get the same performance out of it. However, you're going to chew through them pretty quick. I usually recommend, if you guys haven't already, to pick up one of those Nerf rival kind of rechargeable battery packs, the NiCads or the nickel metal hydrides, the 1500s. These are about 15 bucks right now on Amazon on sale, and they're super easy to use. You pretty much just charge it, throw it in, and you're good to go, right? You don't have to buy rechargeable C batteries. You don't have to buy D batteries. You don't have to worry about if they're going to die or not. You pretty much can throw them in and just be ready to go. Or, I think what most people have done is, yes, you can lipo mod this thing. So, you know, there's a bunch of guides out there where you can lipo mod it. This thing will fit a 5,000 milliamp 3S or 2S just fine, and you will up your performance, of course, if you put a 3S in here, but you will kind of get the same performance with the 7.2 volt battery pack by Nerf if you guys use a 7.2S lipo. And again, there's many manufacturers, and those things will go for like 20 bucks, but you get so much more runtime. And if you use the 3S, you're going to get more performance and more runtime. So it's something to think about. Now on the top, yes, you have that nice Picatinny rail. Pretty much goes the whole length of the actual blaster. So you could put all kinds of accessories on this beast. I mean, you know, 2 scopes if you wanted to, a couple extra rounds or something like that, a round holder. And it's kind of cool because on the bottom of the barrel there, you actually have another Picatinny rail. So you could put, you know, a front grip if you want to. It's really up to you. I think that's awesome that they put that little rail down there, because now you can stick an actual grip, you know, from AK mods or something like that down there to kind of hold it up front instead of holding it, you know, down here when you guys want to shoot. Now, when it comes to FPS, this thing's still shooting around their average 95 to 90 FPS. I think maybe when we first got it, it was shooting a little bit quicker. I could be wrong, but I think we've put in so many rounds to this thing that maybe it's getting, this little bad boy is getting a little worn out. But still, you're shooting an average, again, you could see there, of about 95 FPS, which is great. I mean, that's where a lot of the Nerf rival blasters that we've been seeing have been sitting. But overall, guys, you know, this is a fairly big blaster. It's definitely unique with that kind of cartridge system down here, so you can't really interchange these with, you know, some of your other blasters, some of your Nerf rival blasters that we have. But yeah, I think it's a great weapon. If you can pick this up for pretty cheap, you know, on a secondary market, I say do it. You got to have one of these for your inventory, right? You lipo mod this thing, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Anyways, we love it. Definitely subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Definitely, again, check out all the giveaways we're doing. Let me know if you guys have this blaster. We're always curious to hear if people out there have these things and how many rounds they put through them. Anyways, thanks again, Fox fans. Have a good one.